Hey everyone. So today for Autism Acceptance Month, I have Alexandra Herold with me. She is the founder and CEO of Patti and Ricky, which is an online marketplace for adaptive fashion for people with disabilities. So thank you for stopping by.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much for having me.
So for today's interview, I partnered with a really good friend of mine. Her name is Imani Jones, and she is the founder of the Hippie Mom LLC. She is also the owner of the hippiemom.com. She runs that blog site, and it's really just a transparent blog site for parents to come and see her journey. Her son, Jude, who is absolutely adorable, he's on the spectrum. And since she's launched this and been such a big advocate and been helping her son, he's improved so much. So today's interview is very special because, again, we are highlighting Autism Acceptance Month, which is the month of April. But also, the main question is, how are children with special needs and children who are on the spectrum, how are they going to adapt to a post-COVID world?
I will say that it's something that I'm happy that we're all really thinking forward and thinking about in terms of thinking about specifically for kids on the autism spectrum. Structure and routine is super important for all kids, but especially for kids on the autism spectrum. So I definitely have a lot of products at Patti and Ricky that I look forward to showing you that I think can really support kids. I myself have anxiety, so I don't have autism, but I do have ADHD and dyslexia. I struggle with depression and anxiety. So these are also products that I wish I had when I was a kid, and I would love to show them to you.
Yeah. So, can you show me some of the products that you have that can help children with special needs and children with autism adapt?
Yes. So of course. So I guess something I thought was super important to show today is that we have a lot of really great inclusive books that really have great representation for kids with different disabilities, great with diversity. Really thinking about, and all of them take place in the classroom. So I felt like kind of reintroducing books that are back in the classroom. What does that look and feel like? As well as really creating a really great routine and structure for your kids. I know that a lot of parents with kids with autism will have a schedule with images and words and that really show kids their day. I think really making that clear of what's to expect. What is it going to look like? What is it going to feel like is super important right now for all kids. We have some really great compression items. This is actually a compression vest that kids would want to wear because they're super cool. And I'll tell you why. They're 5 points of compression. So it can be really customized. And if you have a child that's nonverbal, we have really great emoji patches for kids to identify how they're feeling. And then they can pick how they're feeling and put it right on their compression vest. We also have some really great calming fidgets that are quiet that kids can fidget with that really can help kids feel calm.
I think that a lot of parents who have children who have special needs or who are on the spectrum, they've gotten used to a structure in their home and a structure at school. But when COVID-19 hit, that all went out the window because now children are not going to school and they're doing virtual learning. And a lot of times that can be difficult for children who are nonverbal and for children who are on the spectrum. So what advice would you give, or what are some products that maybe could help out some parents who the schedule went out the window and now they're trying to get their children back on a schedule and trying to get them back into the rhythm of things now that things are starting to slow down a little bit?
Yeah, I think, depending on the child, I think thinking about what might work for them. I say that if you've met one child with autism, you've only met one child with autism. Every child is very different and unique. So maybe the books would be fabulous for one child to kind of introduce them right back into, what is that, remembering what does it look and feel like to be in the classroom? Maybe it's videos, maybe it's TV shows that are showing kids in the classroom. Again, kind of like, what does that feel like again? So that if you get any opportunities to kind of bring them into school before, the environment is just so important. And as someone who, my environment is super important to my success, kind of just thinking about other products, definitely getting dressed in the morning, having that routine. We have, and I'm showing you the adult version of, because I couldn't find the kid version for some reason. But we have like easy on, easy off shoes, like getting dressed in the morning, having that independence as much as possible. We have some magnetic clothing for kids, really like laying it out the night before, like kind of getting back into the swing. I think as an adult through COVID-19, like I feel I have to also kind of readjust, like pants are important now.
Mhm.
Thinking about, getting dressed in the morning. We also have some really fabulous soft protective helmets for kids and adults that are soft protective. So if kids are prone to seizures or head banging or anything like that, we have like really cool, this just looks like a baseball cap.
Oh, that's so cute.
Right? So we have ones that look like beanies.
Now, you are the founder and CEO of Patty and Ricky. Tell me a little bit about Patty and Ricky and what inspired that.
Yes. So I mentioned before, I myself have many disabilities that are invisible. I have a physical disability called POTS. I have ADHD and dyslexia, auditory processing disorder, and short-term memory issues. I also have anxiety and depression since I lost my mom, Patti. So my mom, Patti, was always my advocate and my everything. She was super cool. You would have loved her. she
She sounds amazing.
Yes, and she was very fashion forward. She was in the New York City fashion industry. And when I was 19, I became her advocate. It was just her and I. She was diagnosed with brain cancer, and she was, again, very fashion forward. She still wanted to look and feel beautiful when she was going through brain cancer chemo treatment. And she asked me for a leopard print cane. And this was 12 years ago. It wasn't easy to find fashion functional products. I went to a medical supply store that was gray and really depressing. And I remember thinking even 12 years ago, wow, this is really not a great shopping experience. I ended up specially ordering her a pink cane with roses. And I saw that people started to approach her. Her beautiful cane became a conversation piece. And I really saw the power of fashion. I also grew up with my cousin Ricky, who was born unable to walk or talk, and he really formed how I saw my own disability. And disabilities in general is just human. We're all human. We all have different needs, but also if we're lucky enough to live to 100, we will all have disability, and that is just being human. And I just always saw how environments can adapt for us, for people with disabilities, and how they should. So I started Patti and Ricky 4 years ago with 12 adaptive fashion brands. Today we have over 100, and most of our designers we work with either have a disability or a loved one with a disability.
That's amazing. Congratulations, because you saw a need in a community and you created something.
Yeah.
You created something that I believe is helping so many people around the world, so many parents, so many children just continue to adapt in this world. And now with COVID-19, they're having to find new ways to adapt to a post-COVID world. So I think that's so amazing. And earlier you showed us some products. Are there any other products that you have that you can show that you feel would be perfect for parents and for children in adapting to this post-COVID world?
Yes, and I have so many things on Patti and Ricky also for people. This is our myself belt, and it actually it snaps into one of the belt loops and then goes in just around the pants like a typical belt, but then it Velcros. So in terms of using the restroom, makes it a non-issue. Kids can just pull it open and pull down their pants. So this is a really, again, a great like dressing tool and kind of a dressing gadget. I'm always saying, like, why are we buttoning and buckling and all these things when we have Velcro and magnets? So this is one of our Velcro belts. We do have, if kids have, again, this isn't specifically for kids necessarily with autism, but we sell a lot of really cute custom shoes. So for kids with AFOs, like with leg braces, we can actually custom make them for it so they can just slide their foot right in and just zip up and go. It's amazing when you think about fashion and function. We're always used to thinking about the fashion only, and things can be just so not functional. And once you think about the functionality of clothing, it just becomes better for everybody. So we just have a lot of easy on, easy off clothing, but everything is good looking and cool. Like everyone wants, especially kids, every kid wants to be cool. Like we have products that are cool and functional, and that's really important to us at Patti and Ricky.
And now, how many products, give or take, do you have, and how often are you kind of circulating products and finding new products to kind of help people in the community?
I try to add products every couple weeks, try to keep it fresh, but also we try to also keep it seasonal so it feels like that department store feel. So we I'm always looking to partner with new designers. Now we have over 5,000 SKUs, 5,000 different combinations of products. And again, if we don't have something you're looking for, please let us know. We'll do our best to find it. If it exists, we're really good at finding it, and we'll send you elsewhere until we, in the meantime, while we're trying to work with that company. So it's just really important to me to kind of create a marketplace, a one-stop shop where everyone can find things that work for them, but also knowing that this, many of the products we sell could be thought of for everyone. It doesn't necessarily just have to be for people with disabilities. Inclusive design really can be just smarter fashion. So why are we buttoning when we should all maybe be magneting and Velcroing? It's just maybe smarter design. So, people with disabilities are such innovators, and many people with disabilities have created amazing products we carry.
Now, I know you're online right now. Are you looking to eventually get a storefront?
Well, yes, right now we're just pattyandricky.com. But I always want to do a pop-up, like pop up inside different boutiques, different stores. So that's something I hope we were moving forward with one before COVID. So I hope to kind of reintroduce that once it's safe for everybody, because I wish people could touch and feel the products. Just because once you feel it, you're like, oh my God, I'm like, oh my goodness, like this is the best. So I feel like that is an important thing. And also to think about how can we make stores more accessible for everyone in terms of dressing rooms and trained staff and Braille and all different ways that we can make a store more accessible for everybody. And of course, that would just drive more business. People with disabilities want to spend their money on products that, they're consumers just like everybody. So I hope to also kind of influence stores to think about being more accessible.
Now tell everyone where they can find you, your website, social media accounts, and how can they reach out and get products from you?
Yes, of course. So our website is pattyandricky.com. So it's PATTI, and Ricky's RICKY, and an AND and in the middle. So pattyandricky.com. At the bottom of our homepage is all of our different social media links. We are everywhere. I try to be everywhere. I do weekly Instagram lives with many of our designers. So we're on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, trying to be everywhere. So you can sign up for our newsletter. When you go onto our site, there'll be a pop-up to put your email. We don't send many emails just because I don't like getting that many emails, but we do send them like monthly about what's going on with what kind of fashion and function we're bringing onto the site.
Again, I think your website is amazing for children and for parents who have children who are on the spectrum and children who have special needs. So I think that what you're doing is amazing. And I just want to continue to thank you and continue to give yourself a pat on the back because, like I said, there was a need in the community and you're filling that void. So you should be very proud of yourself.
So thank you again, Kayla, for what you're doing.